So can we start by talking about the landscape that you operate in, the world of payments, how it's changed or changing, and where GoCardless fits into it and why it came about as well?
Yeah, so a bit to unpack there. So as I say, I'm Chief Customer Officer at GoCardless. We're an organization, about 800 people. We serve upwards of about 80,000 customers now at the moment, internationally, with a large chunk of that, being based in the UK and I. So we're direct bank payment organization.
Right.
Like fundamentally, we help businesses to globally manage their payments. And we've specialized in bank payments sort of explicitly, because that's our core. There's a lot of other organizations who kind of choose to go down a different path when it comes to payments, but we've always really focused on what we do best, and that is bank payments, and really making it easy for our customers to do that, so they can focus on what they're doing on a day-to-day basis. In terms of the kind of evolution of it from our perspective, there's probably two more significant areas of evolution that we've seen. I think the first one is, it's not a surprise, but digital first as it comes to payments has really accelerated since the pandemic. Clearly the only way most of us could access anything over that period of time, and whilst adoption of direct debit in the UKI is and has been very mature over the years, what we've seen now is that people just expect to be able to do that in any environment that they operate in, and something historically that may have seemed as minor as requesting payments from a merchant's perspective, or as kind of almost like intuitive, has now become what we've seen sort of a core part of consumer expectation.
Yeah.
So, like everything in the digital age, attention or patience for something that doesn't fit what you need at that point in time has dramatically decreased. So we work a lot with merchants in many areas, not just necessarily the ones you would think of from retail and potentially utilities, but across all aspects really, as to how we can optimize payments, and in particular bank-to-bank payments, for the consumers that they have, and how do we work with the ones that maybe don't use that to move them down that direction for obvious reasons. And then the second one really is just general payment visibility. We know that cash is king when it comes to running and operating a business, irrespective of whatever size it's at. And the need to be able to really clearly understand the predictability of cash flow, but also understand where there may be, gotchas in terms of failures, things like chargebacks, and the ability to really kind of forecast properly and understand that. So whilst direct debit's been, very consistent in terms of the underlying, rails that we operate on, we have seen it really kind of expand more in these particular areas. And then you throw just general cost on top of that. I think one of the themes we've all seen recently is the cost of and the reliability around credit cards, particularly from a recurring perspective, has definitely been challenged quite a bit, because it is we selfishly and I think still accurately call it sort of it is a tax on merchants. It's a kind of a hidden tax that is just there, that has to be paid in order to engage with that mode of payment, that we're very passionate about making sure that we can provide alternatives that offer the same in terms of choice, but really enhanced cost savings, reductions, visibility, and transparency as well. So a lot's changed, definitely. I've been here 5 years now, and it's been really interesting just to watch that evolution. And as I say, more so from the breadth rather than the depth, if that makes sense. So there's a lot of verticals that we would work with, a lot of customers that we would work with, where it's always been the case, and really it's more of a case of challenging them and innovating around that. But now we've seen a lot more organizations kind of come to us looking to be more aggressive in terms of how they think about particularly collections and payments generally.
Yeah, I suppose, we'll come on to this a wee bit later, but I suppose from CPL's point of view, The challenge is, I mean, it's the way of the world now, right? You want to go and pay by direct debit. You want to choose the day of the month that you want to pay that direct debit as a consumer, and up to now, certainly in the property management world, it's tended to be the property management company would maybe have 3 dates of the month that you could pick to pay by direct debit, which I guess was the norm for most companies a long time ago. And the solutions that we had, certainly, I mean, you could do it, but it was a massive headache from an admin point of view. So I guess GoCardless takes that away.
Yeah, there is. And I mean, as we've kind of, evolved our proposition and as it's expanded, in addition to the core direct debit collection kind of mode, those are areas that we've really gone very kind of aggressively into. So once you move beyond the kind of active efficiently and from a cost savings perspective, being able to collect direct debits en masse at high volumes, then you're kind of moving into the world of, okay, how can we do it more predictably? How can we do it more transparently? And that's where, some of our other product offerings, such as, Success Plus, which is a, intelligent retry capability that just, ultimately will tell you the best time to take a collection, depending on, multiple variables across our entire kind of payments intelligence landscape. So it's pretty cool stuff, and it has a very material impact. And it's very tangible, which is what I've always liked about kind of operating in this space. It's there's not many hypotheticals around payments. It's a pretty straightforward process. That either you get it or you don't, and you get it efficiently, and it costs you more or it doesn't. And I think that's what I like about my world, is we get to stand in front of people and you live and die by the success, really. And it's pretty obvious.
Yeah. Okay. So to illustrate how GoCardless works, can you walk us through a case study?
Yeah. There's a couple. Yeah. So, I mean, obviously we have a massively expansive sort of base of customers, but, one in particular that probably would be somewhat relevant. There's an organization in France called Matera. They're a startup that helps homeowners manage their rental investments. So it's a kind of managing 7,000 plus co-ownership customers. Their model is to give the property owners effectively control that by outsourcing the property management, they're saving time and money, which is effectively what the overarching value prop for ourselves is.